Yes, I'm getting tired. But anyway, hi YouTube. All right. With the coming out of the movie for colored girls, there are a lot of people who are saying that black women often have negative representations of men in the media, black males in the media, which is true. But a lot of people they complain about it, and so they call every movie where black men's not really portrayed positively as male bashing and whatnot. And it kind of makes me wonder what exactly do they want done, because here's the fact of the matter is that you know some these things obviously happened to either somebody that the writer or director knew, something that they've observed, or it happened to them themselves. So these are not false stories. Usually these are real life stories that have been taken to the media, and they're sharing their story with the public. I'm wondering, do you want to silence these women? Do you not want women to talk about situations that involve a black male behaving negatively? Um, do they want black women to stop sharing their negative stories if they involve black men behaving negatively as well? Do they want all of those movies to disappear? Do they want all of these, things to just disappear? Will that make things better? I don't think so. I think it might make things worse. It's like shutting her up, because there is some truth to it. It's not all lies. And I know not every black man acts like this, and I agree there are a lot of negative representations of black men in the media. But what I believe needs to happen is black men need to speak up. I mean, not just on YouTube and not out of anger and hostility, but I want them to share their struggles and their stories about, their negative experiences with black women. Because I believe by watching each other's stories and honestly just seeing it for what it is, we can learn a lot about each other and relationships, and can possibly use these movies to come together and talk about some issues in our black relationships. So, I think black men need to start writing movies and, get, start becoming these direct and start getting this stuff out here, you know, and just do that. And there have been ones where black females were portrayed negatively. If you ever seen the movie Antoine Fisher, the majority of the black females in that movie, and it's a wonderful movie. I love it. Derek Luke is wonderful. Denzel Washington is wonderful. But the main thing I remember how horrible the black women were. Like his foster mother, she was extremely abusive. She was horrible to him, and he was molested by I think one of the foster mother's female relatives. So in that movie, you have black females molesting children. You have black females abusing children. It is horrible, absolutely just horrible. But I know that this is a black man's story of his struggles, and I respect that. And I know that he went through that, and that he's probably not the only black man to have went through something like that. I totally respect that, and I see it for what it is. I don't see it as female bashing, because I know that's not it at all. I see it as him sharing his story, and I think we need to see more movies like that. If you haven't seen Antoine Fisher, you missed out on a treat. You need to see it, but that's kind of maybe a tearjerker for you, and it ain't something that if you're looking for a feel good time you should watch. But it's wonderful. It's a story about a black man's struggles and how he was able to, deal with those struggles and just come up. It's a wonderful movie. But yeah, black females are portrayed very negatively in that movie. But that's because those were the black women he ran into. They were just horrible. But I know that, he's not trying to demonize black women. He's just telling his story. And, with him being a black male, of course, his experiences were probably with women, probably was with black women. And I think the same thing should go for black women in the stories that they tell in the media. Respect them for what they are. A lot of these black women know that not all black men are the same. And I don't think they're trying to demonize black men. I think they're just sharing their stories, and it just so happens that a lot of black women have had negative experiences with black men, just like a lot of black men have had negative experiences with black women. But the difference is that black women went and they started, sharing their stories. Black men, really never really spoke up like that. They never really spoke up about their struggles. like that in order to really take it to the media. They need to take it to the media. I say take it to the media, share your story. I'm all for it. And I think a lot of black women would watch it for what it was. I don't think black women would complain about female bashing in it. I don't think so. Not the majority of black women. You might have some crazy ones who do. But they just the same as, I kind of think that the men who complain about every movie where they're not portrayed as angels are kind of crazy. But, you know. So, yeah, I think basically my message is take these movies about black women's struggle and relationship with black men for what they are. Just look at them, listen to them, watch them. Don't be sitting up there looking for reasons to point out how they're trying to demonize black men. Don't take it as that. Just take it as somebody telling the story of struggle in a relationship. And pay attention. You might see a lot of things. Like why a lot of women behave the way they are. Like why a lot of women behave the way black women. You might see some things like why black women may behave the way they do now. Why the independent black woman started up, or why things. You could see those little things if you really watch it for what it is. Same thing if you watch, because like I said, black men really do need to start getting their stories out in the media and just showing what they go through and what their struggles are, because theirs is just as important as a black woman's struggle. And I honestly think a lot of black women would support it. They would watch it for what it was, and they take it for what it was. They're always crazy people. There are gonna be crazy black women who are gonna say it's female bashing and whatnot, and not take it for what it is. But any person who's really just open to seeing it, it'll be interesting. So I hope this makes sense. Anyway, bye.